Okay, so welcome to our IBCP information night. I just want to say that I'm hoping to be out of here around 6:30. Not that it's a rush or a race, but I do value my family time and your family time. So I want to go ahead and get started and let you know what is IBCP. It is the newest program that IB has to offer. We are one of 6 CP schools in Florida. We are one of about 200 in the world, and they are rapidly growing. CP incorporates the principles of IB with unique needs and career-related studies. We want to make sure that we're not missing the boat with students who have a love or a passion for a certain career path. So IB wanted to make sure that we reach all of the students, and it's not just specific students that we're reaching. I'd first like to introduce myself. I'm Amy Earl. I am the CP coordinator. I also teach IB Lang and Lit, and I also teach the CP course, Personal and Professional Skills. Ms. Beach, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Miss Beach. I'm one of the school counselors at Riverview, and I am also the counselor that oversees and works with all of the IBCP students.
Thank you. I also have Ms. Kathleen Mauer's information under there, as you can see on the screen, and she is a CP parent. She sits on the IBPO, the parent organization, as our CP representative. And if you as a parent want to ask her questions that you don't feel comfortable asking Ms. Beach or myself via email, she has said that you can feel free to email her questions as well. So Ms. Beach's email and my email are both there. You can feel free to email us if you have any questions, and we will also be emailing you back. A little bit of housekeeping. Again, if you could put your student's name into the chat so we can take attendance, follow up if necessary. If you do have a question, please put it in the chat along with the email that you prefer that we answer. And Ms. Beach and I will download the chat at the end of the meeting, and we'll get back to you tomorrow or Monday with a response. So if it's tailored to your student specifically, and it's just easier for you to type it in the chat, then we can kind of research your students' grades and that sort of thing. We'd prefer not to. I'll give you all of the qualifications that we're looking for in this application. But if you have questions, I'm the only one that's seeing the chat, so I will download that, and then Ms. Beach and I will look at it tomorrow. I also want to let you know that this video will be posted on our website tomorrow and on our Riverview IB YouTube page. So if there's anything that I go through a little bit quickly or you want to watch a slide again, it will be posted and you will be able to find it. Okay. So moving on, what is CP? Again, I have kind of told you about that, and it is a program that allows the rigor of IB courses while also making sure that your student gets information and coursework that they find valid and reliable and relevant to their life. The IBPO, the parent organization, again includes CP parent opportunities, and they have CP specific opportunities like CP scholarships. We have our own banquet, we have our own awards. So we just wanted to let you know that there are opportunities for your student to be in CP, and they get many perks just like the diploma program. A lot of people have questions. So yes, they are considered IB students. So according to one of our CP seniors took on a little bit of data information, data gathering, if you will, and he asked CP juniors and seniors, what do they believe CP is? And so you can see all of the words that our current students believe CP to be. Hi, friends that are just joining. If you would send me your name, that would be fantastic. You can do that right in the chat. All right, Ms. Beach.
So why IBCP? So obviously you will be learning the real world skills to help you in any of the 8 pathways offered at Riverview. So we do have 8 different pathways that students can choose from, and we will be reviewing those pathways a little bit later in the presentation. You will learn the job skills. You have the opportunity to take AP courses, IB courses, honors level courses, general ed electives. So there's a lot of flexibility within the CP program to kind of tailor your schedule that best meets your needs. And you will be able to create your own schedule that works for you. So if you're strong in math, you can continue and take rigorous math courses. If math isn't your strength, you can kind of tweak your she'll be placed in a math that may be more appropriate for you. At graduation, you will receive the IBCP diploma when you complete the program. And if you notice the 15 purple boxes over to the right-hand side, those are the top 15 skills that employers are going to be looking for in 2025. And those skills are embedded not only in the personal and professional skills class that all the CP students have, but they'll be picking them up in other IB classes and other classes at Riverview High School within their pathway also.
So to follow up with that, IB did a little bit of a study to make sure that IBCP was not considered IB light, if you will. So they kind of tracked and did some data about university enrollment. And so what they found was that 81% of CP graduates enrolled. 76% did it immediately right after high school, which you can see in the green is the US national average at 68. So we're really preparing students to kind of go right into really university unless they are going into a trade school or right into the job market. You can see the persistence in terms of CP graduates at four-year universities. They're more successful and more persistent than just any general programming. And you can also see that a lot of CP graduates do in fact go to four-year institutions. So again, it's not an easier pathway, it's just one that's a little bit more tailored so that if you know what you want to do and you know you want to take, let's say, AP courses alongside your IB courses, you absolutely have that ability to do so. And I think students really, when you ask them, current CP students, they really do love that flexibility. So speaking of which, we have a few testimonials about why current students did choose CP. And so again, it's about, do they know what they want? They know what they want to do. They feel like it's helping them step into better opportunities. And a lot of them want to figure out for free before they go to college, is this really what I want to pursue for the rest of my life? Because the risk financially is nothing. To learn that in high school, that if you take some engineering and some calculus courses and you hate them, that didn't cost you $300 a credit hour. Not that it's about money, but it is about experience and a safe time to kind of learn about yourself. I think that's what high school is kind of about. All right, Ms. Beach.
Okay, so what is expected? So the IB curriculum, and it goes a little bit more, this slide goes a little bit more into what your schedule would look like. So you have to have at least 2 IB courses on your schedule, and one is automatically going to be the IB English class, and then you can take any other additional IB course. Most of them are 2-year courses, but we do have some 1-year IB courses. That's the minimum. So like I said, you must have the English, you must have 1 additional IB course beyond that, but you can continue to fill your schedule up with other IB classes as well. And of course, the IB courses, like I said, are 2 years, so students take that in their junior and senior year. And it's very similar. The best way to explain IB, I'm a little old school, would be AP. When we were in high school, we took AP classes, and at the end, you took a test, you passed the test and got college credit. The same thing goes for the IB program. Students will take that IB exam at the end and possibly, well, hopefully they'll get their college credit. When they're in the CP curriculum, they must take that personal and professional skills class. That is a requirement. They'll have a reflective project to do. There's a language development piece that's built into their personal and professional skills class, and they also have some service learning. So it's definitely the dedication to the IB mission statement is creating a better world, and that is definitely what CP is about. And if you look over the last list, those 8 different pathways that we do offer in the CP program.
So as Ms. Beach just said, you are to participate in that CRS, that career-related study, the core and DP courses for both years, that junior year and the senior year. So a lot of times people will ask us, well, can I just do it my junior year, take both my courses and then be done? No, IB wants it to be both years so that it's a holistic approach and you have that sustained engagement. So it is a 2-year commitment. The personal and professional skills course is a weighted course for your GPA, so that's important to know if you're worried about that. Should be, I teach the course, it should be an easy A as long as you are doing what is asked of you and being willing to think and being a risk taker and making sure that you are engaged at all times. Those two diploma courses, one has to be that higher level course, and like Ms. Beach said, that is going to be IB language and literature. We are highly successful with that, and we have never had a student in CP not get the CP because they didn't pass that HL course. And so we are really trying to set your students up for success. And so that is why that is the one HL course. But students can take, again, that is a minimum of 2 IB diploma courses. They can take 2 HL courses. I have students right now that are in HL Math, some of my engineering students, and HL English, and they're in AP courses. So really it's a menu of scheduling. And I think that's what makes it so important that we have Ms. Beach on our side, is she knows both sides of the schedule and how to make it work and make sure that you're getting what you need for graduation as well. So let me quickly unpack the IB course so you know what I'm talking about. First of all, and I'm going to go into depth about each of these briefly. Again, we're trying to get done so that you can have dinner with your family and relax. And some of you maybe study for some midterms tomorrow. But first of all, we have that reflective project, and that is an original research paper which investigates a current ethical dilemma within the career-related study. So students are paired up with a faculty member that is in that career-related study or teaches that career-related study or has real-life experience in their CRS, and they kind of coach them through these ethical dilemmas. And then in PPS, we kind of teach them the research skills and different databases and how can they find relevant research. And then those students write a project based on an ethical dilemma. The service learning is a minimum of 50 hours over a 2-year time period. So if we're being mathematical and we want to split it down the middle in 2 years in a non-COVID year, it's 25 hours approximately a year. However, the difference between this community service and just any other community service is that it should be within that career-related study. And I like to tell kids, use it as an opportunity as an in-the-field internship, an unpaid internship, to really get hands-on to help in your career-related study along with that, and while also helping the environment or animals or society. And so that's kind of a unique piece that other programs don't have. Language development is just that. It is development, it is not mastery. And I think that is very important to know. And so your student or you are going to choose what language would you like to develop. And so you're going to have a portfolio, and we work on that again through PPS. And you have to show that you've made some sort of gains in that 2 years on the language, not mastery, but have you learned something that you're more proficient than you were on day 1. And then finally, PPS, the personal and professional skills, that is a 2-year course designed to hone in on personal and professional skills admired by employers. And so it incorporates those other elements. So we really try and talk about the language development and the service learning, the reflective project, so that they have time built into their day, so it's not as stressful. So service learning, like we just talked about, it should be authentic. Please note that these hours can be used for Bright Futures as long as they're with a nonprofit and approved by Ms. Lewis. Ms. Lewis works in the Student Success Center, and so she can let you know if they can double dip on those hours, and that's important to know, because remember, our students in CP right now are not getting Bright Futures just for completing CP, unlike they do in the diploma program. I just want to remind you of that because sometimes that's a point of contention for people. So here again are some current students' service learning experiences. We've had some students work with Moat Marine Laboratory. We've had some students work with the Fab Lab. We've had other students work to teach. And so I've had students do all sorts of creative things. They've gotten even more creative now that we are in COVID, and they have to do lots of digital work and kind of network over the computer, which isn't always ideal, but it happens. Other opportunities have been with local elementary schools, the Conservation Foundation, local businesses, nonprofits. So if you have a need at your place of work and you would like a free intern, if you will, go ahead and put that in the chat too. I'd love to know that and connect with you about that. So the reflective project, again, that is an in-depth work about an ethical dilemma related to the career-related study. So here are some of the topics from this year from current students. And then they have to write 2,000 to 3,000 words based on research. And basically I tell them, you're the lawyer for both sides. You have to argue why it is ethical to some people and why it's not ethical to others. And it can't just be an issue in one place. It has to be a global issue. So that kind of adds to the relevancy of the whole writing piece. So some of the questions are, is it ethical for biomedical engineers to continue the study of embryonic stem cells? The ethics of drone warfare. Should the development of nuclear energy continue despite some danger? Is genetic engineering of aquaculture for human consumption ethical? And is it ethical for restaurants to throw away leftover food despite the negative impacts that face their environment? So really, students get to pick what they're interested in and kind of research and figure out what research has been done and what are opportunities for them, especially if it's in their career-related study, what piques their interest. And so that's kind of the interesting part here. All right, so I am about to show you, if you are screenshotting or taking pictures, this next screen Ms. Beach is going to take you through are the progressions of each of the career-related studies.
Okay, so if you notice the 8 are listed up there, we really would like students to have completed at least one class when they are picking a pathway. So hopefully, for example, digital information tech is listed for international business. So hopefully they have already had the digital information technology class by the time, or they're enrolled in it now as they're working on their application. The goal is, of course, to complete all 4 in the pathway, but we know some students haven't started on them yet. If your child may be interested in CP and is interested in a pathway and hasn't started any of the pathway courses that they're interested in, please reach out to Dr. Earl or myself, and we can have a conversation with that student. We don't want to eliminate them from the CP program just because they haven't had it, but sometimes there's ways that we can work with them to possibly give them an opportunity to take the class. So we do have a wide variety of classes for students in a lot of different areas. They're all very popular. The music program is definitely growing. Marine science is an interest for a lot, but the biggest one is the international business as of right now, but we do have several students in the engineering also. And computer and commercial arts is beginning to grow also. And we do have 1 or 2 in JROTC, but we would love to, of course, continue to expand that pathway also with more students. So we do have a wide variety of pathways for students to get involved in.
And the only other thing that I want to add about that performing art for music, for guitar, orchestra, band, and chorus, please make sure that you are already in one of those. That one, we're definitely kind of being a stickler. If you haven't been in band for 2 years, or something, we're going to need to talk to you about that one. That one's going to be a little bit trickier. So we have a little bit more student testimony. Again, you can come and visit this on your own time when it's time for you to read that if you would like. I would like to say that we are really looking for some students in JROTC. We have not had a student yet. And honestly, I teach great JROTC students every single year, and I ask them, and it's too late because I teach seniors, why didn't you do CP? And they all say, I didn't know. And then it breaks my heart because I feel like I do these meetings. And anyway, so if any of you have friends that are in JROTC, please share this information with them. In that picture at the bottom, you can see that is our PPS course. And if you look closely, we've got some school board members there. We have some of our top executives in that room, and they are actually practicing interview skills with them, with our students, so that they get to kind of practice before they go in for a scholarship interview or an admissions interview or even a job interview. So really that PPS class is kind of a catch-all for everyone. I also want you to notice that we have students in a lot of different schools, in a lot of different majors. And so they all kind of talk about what CP did for them. And I always have them reflect after at least 1 semester of college. So you can see Jackson at the bottom, he just finished his 1st semester at Rollins virtually, which is never easy, but he said that there was a lot that he gained from being in CP. So what are the admission requirements? Ms. Beach, do you want to talk about these?
Sure. Okay, so obviously we're looking for that 2.75 unweighted GPA. So basically right now, if we're just, I mean, obviously we have the 9th grade GPA in, the 10th grade, which they're applying, they're still working on that. But basically it's A's and B's with 2 C's or less. You know, 3 C's doesn't put you at that 2.75. So it's mostly A's and B's, but if you would happen to have 1 C, it's not, or 2 C's, it may not, I don't think it's going to break you from that 2.75. Obviously, the recommendation of being in a career pathway that you have started. We would have liked you to have passed the algebra EOC, and we know that the FSA really didn't happen last year. So, you know, we want to make sure that you have those strong English skills to kind of move forward with all of the writing components in CP. Obviously, it's important in any IB program is the attendance and the behavioral issues. So obviously good attendance is highly important, and you know, you have to be a good student with no behavior issues. We will be touching base with your English teachers, and if you currently are in a pathway, we'll be reaching out to like the accounting teacher or DIT or the commercial art teacher to see how you're doing in those classes. Obviously, the big one, you have to have the application finished by the 21st. If it's the 22nd, I'm sorry, you're too late, but it's important to understand the deadlines that come with the program. So February 21st is the deadline to submit that. And the thing is too, we have to make sure that we get the schedule appropriate, and we want to make sure that the CP students who are registering get into the classes that they need. We do recommend that, you know, it's a little bit of an easier transition if students are currently in the pre-IB program. So they have some of those honor level, upper level courses that help transition into CP. If they don't, that's okay. It's not a requirement. It's just helpful. So the IBCP application will be found at the Riverview IB website. So, you know, after this presentation, I believe, Dr. Earl, that the application is up and ready. So students can go ahead and get started on those applications, you know, later on tonight if they want to.
Yes, so I actually have this slide to kind of help you navigate Riverview IB because our website is a little bit clunky. And so if you navigate riverviewib.com and then click about, and then click the IB career related program, you'll see admissions requirement. And there are a couple hot links. Some of those are not my link. I don't know why they're there. I asked our webmaster to take them down. They're still there. The one you do want is where it says that IBCP application. And when you click that, it should be purple and it should say IBCP application. Please make sure that's the one that you click. If you click another one on that page and it says like pre-IB, that is not the one that you want. So make sure that you are doing that. This is a one sitting type application. So just know that if you're gonna sit down and do it, sit down and do it, because there's no like save and come back. We're not that fancy. I wish we were, but we're just not there. Okay, so to review, the application is on riverviewib.com. I live in 5336. So if you want to come and see me, if you have a question, I am in there. I teach most of the day. So if you are a student, please come between classes, not in the middle of a class. That would be preferable to me. Or you can go to 5307 and make an appointment with Miss Ellis, and I can try and meet up with you. Our application deadline, man, why do I have two different ones? It is definitely the 12th, so I'll go and fix it on the other one. Apparently my autosave does not autosave. It is February 12th, so you have a couple of weeks to kind of think about it, mull it over, ask questions, and we do look forward to you joining our CP family. Final reminder, if you would make sure you write your name and your student's name in the chat, and if you have any questions, we will be sure to answer you via email tomorrow or Monday. And again, you can rewatch this starting tomorrow on Riverview IB and or on YouTube under the Riverview IB account. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you being here. We hope you have a great night. Good luck on exams tomorrow. and hopefully we get to have you join our CP family for next year. Good night.